What the fuck? Oh, we got a problem. Hello, everyone. This is Omar. How you feeling? From the podcast American Me. The podcast American Me originally was the third rail with Omar. I welcome you. If you want to make a phone call, if you want to interact with me, you could call at 1-800-811-9419. Let me fix it so we could so we could talk. If anybody wants to call in anytime, they are more than welcome. So today we're gonna have a good show. We're gonna go over a couple of videos and just talk about things. But before I do that, I want to do an introduction first. Let me make sure first I'm on because let me see. But before I do that, I want to do an introduction first. Great. All right. All right. So I don't have a producer or anything, but I want to speak to you from the heart today about the situation that we're in. For 80 years after World War II, we were told about the new liberal view, the liberal order. That's what it's called. The liberal order, free trade, human rights, commerce, no to war. United Nations will be there to protect people and stop wars. But Gaza has proven that everything is a lie. It was always a lie. It was always a facade. But we just didn't see it because we're divided as American or as human beings or as world citizens. We've been divided by these people, and they know how to divide us. They use ethnicity. They use religious views. They religious strife. They will use anything to stay and keep us down from thinking. Now, why do I say that Gaza has? I know you're probably tired of hearing the same thing. Why am I saying that Gaza exposed everything? Exposed that there is no Security Council. That was all a lie. The Security Council was just done by the five members just to declare war on states they wanted to. The Security Council resolutions were just used to declare war on Vietnam, on Iraq, on every country, on Iraq, on Libya, everything, on Afghanistan. Don't you notice the That's all it was. It was just a way to legalize war on poor countries by rich, powerful nations such as ours, the United States of America, the French, every country on that Security Council, the Russians. So why do I say that Gaza has exposed that the liberal order, it was always a lie? The liberal order was always a lie. It was just meant to control multiculturalism, the women's movement rights, the sexual revolution. What I can think about a lot of things, the civil rights movement. These were all just blocks, especially in the United States, that were used for a group or certain groups to consolidate their power in the political theater of the United States, especially. What I mean by that, well, who benefited from all these movements? Politically, who has consolidated their power and became more powerful than they did from the 1960s upward? I'm going to say it, not to envy, but Jewish Americans have come a long way, and I envy them. And I wish that our communities will imitate them. The whole idea of these movements, just blocks to consolidate power for certain groups. They put these people as blocks, as stepping stones, putting fear on them from the majority. The white people are going to get you. The white people are dangerous. The white people are going to hate you. The white people are this. The majority is this. No, they're not. They have divided us so much that they have stood in our hearts hatred of each other or fear of each other. When we go to vote, we don't vote our economic interests. We vote our group, our tribe, our block. So during election year, the Democratic Party will gather all these small blocks they have created since the 1960s and put this fear. You got to go. You got to go to vote. If not, they're going to get you. I gave you one example of one issue that's been going on for more than 50 years. And in the end, it would turn out to be it was a fake and phony issue. Abortion rights. The Democratic Party have been wailing, we got to protect Roe versus Wade. We got to protect Roe. They're coming to change it. They're coming to change it. And they had every opportunity to codify it into law because they had the majority of the Senate 60 one time and the House. They had control of the House for 60 years. From the days of Roosevelt all the way to 1994. They never codified that law just to keep it as a banner to bring women out to vote by foreign fear. So they overthrew that law, right? They reversed that law. Now they created that, which I agree with, that states should decide what every state should decide for itself. I agree with Donald Trump on that one when he said that every state should agree, should have a referendum, and if they agree, let them do whatever they want. So when you see a group that have benefited from this power, for example, the Black Civil Rights Movement was financed or was supported by Jewish Americans or Jewish wealthy Americans who needed that movement as the horse to ride on to become acceptable in America. You understand? In the 1950s, Jews were not allowed to go to all the universities. Before the 1950s, they were not allowed to join firms, like law firms that belong to the WASP. They called them the WASP. They were not allowed a certain country clubs. They were not. They were rich and still, but they were not welcomed in. You understand? They were still. You got to know your place. So what they did is we need a strong horse. That strong horse was the Black movement, the Black Civil Rights Movement. They rode on it all the way to Congress, all the way to the Senate, to the governor's houses. After they got there, they closed the door and left the Black people outside. They became white. And once in a while, during election year, they will come and say, "Listen, guys, we need the vote. They're coming for you." That's why I say Gaza exposed all these lies that we've been living. There's no liberal order. There's no real democracies. There's no real human rights. There's no right to life. There's no preventive to genocide from the United Nations or massacres or occupations. 75 years, the Palestinians have been crying a blistering cry for justice, and they can't find it neither in the White House or the halls of Congress or the halls of the European Union or even in the halls of the United Nations, that gave life to a state called Israel, believe it or not. When you hear the Israelis complain about the United Nations, they think, oh, the United Nations hate us. But the United Nations signed the birth certificate for Israel to become a state. They are the illegitimate father of Israel, the United Nations, which was a recommendation. It was not to create a state, but the Arabs did not know anything about the United Nations. It was only 2 years old. And now the same United Nations cannot give the Palestinians what they gave to the Jews in Palestine. Now let's move on. We're going to look at some videos. I just wanted to get that out of my mind. What we are witnessing right now is that we are living in really dangerous time and lies. And, well, all I wanted to do is my advice to whoever's watching, whoever's going to watch this, wherever you are in the world, don't believe the media. Don't believe the politicians. Make peace with your neighbor, with your friend. Everybody should make peace with each other. Those you disagree with, you can disagree with peacefully and smartly. If you can't convince them, that's okay. We go to the polls, whoever wins, okay. But don't use the battle cry of those who want to turn us against each other through the building blocks they've been building since the 1960s. Okay. I don't know who's there. I can't see that far. Thank you guys for being here. I can't see that far, so I don't know what the comments are, but I appreciate you. So now we're going to try to go to, let's go to videos and we're going to go over them. All right. Let's start with the first video. I found a way to, what an idiot I am. In the middle of the night. All right, that's not it. All right, let's hope this is it. Nope, that's not it. You can tell I'm blind as a bat. All right, I'm gonna try. Okay, guys, help me out here, please. Nope. So I'm gonna continue to speak until I get these videos organized, because I mean, you can't see, sir. Omar, you can't see nothing, man. You're blind as a bat, man. Come on, God, help me out here. Mm-mm. Okay, I think this is it. Nope. Come on, man. What am I doing here? Hold on. Let me fix this first, so I know what I'm doing here. So I had to let you know about what is that. I'm going to talk about what happened the other day. Oh, I forgot to talk about what happened the other day. The Come on, man. Close out, man. Thank you. Close. The shooting that happened in Washington D.C. It was. I have a video of it. We're gonna go over it. We condemn such violence. Violence is not part of our movement. We can't be like them. If you are protesting against the genocide, against murder, against innocence, against illegality, you cannot be a murderer yourself. So anybody who uses violence against anybody, Jews or anybody in our country, it's not condoned and it's moral, and you should be in jail. And don't do it in people's name or their movement. Our movement is a peaceful movement. You can't use violence to protest the use of violence. Then you are in the same situation. Hope my mic is working. Hey, okay, come on, man. Hold on. Can't get these videos, man. Okay, let's start again. Okay, ready? We're gonna start again, guys. Bismillah. The name. Okay. Oh, I was doing images. That's why. You know, Omar, you're such an idiot. It's okay. Being an idiot is all right. Yeah. All right. Okay. We're gonna start with the first video. That first video is, I spoke to you about last week. It is about the power of money in our politics, how we have become just serfs in this power. Okay, I spoke about this last week, and I want to speak about it again this week.
Of concern.
Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, AIPAC. AIPAC is an Israeli, is a foreign Israeli Jewish lobby. You can't call it Israeli because it's domestic. So it's a Jewish lobby, because if it's, see, this is the problem. We have these word games that we cannot use when it comes to Israel. You can't be a lobby for a foreign government and still be called an Israeli entity. So it is, let me see. So AIPAC is one of the strongest lobbying force in Washington. In 2024 or 20, yes, they donated to 361 congressmen and congresswomen in the United States. And it's more than that. This is just direct. These are direct contribution beside the indirect contribution. Because what AIPAC used to do before last year is they were still a bit shy about giving away money directly. So they, it gives a bad look that they don't want people to think that Jews control the politician. I mean, who can blame them? So what they used to do is they used to have other organizations or PACs donating their name. So let's say I'm running for an office in New York City and AIPAC wants to support me. Before, they did not give direct money. What they did was they will give Omar a couple $100,000. He's a good guy. He's pro-Israel. And their whole mission is one thing. Their mission is not, it's Israel. It's a Zionist lobbying group that even doesn't care about probably Jewish Americans. Its whole objective is to get as much aid to Israel as they can and to put fear in the Jewish community where they will migrate to Israel. I could tell you that. There's no doubt about it. And this is how strong this thing has become. I mean, it's unbelievable, you know. You see that it? I see, Mr. Wrong thing. That's what happened when you're Omar. Okay. All right. Where am I? Okay. Let me put this here. Okay, there you go. These are the politicians. Somebody put this thing and put it together, and it's embarrassing how much these people take money. Should be illegal.
Publishers as well as editors. I want to talk about our common responsibilities in the face of a common danger. The events of recent weeks may have helped to illuminate that challenge for some, but the dimensions of its threat have loomed large on the horizon for many years. Whatever our hopes may be for the future, for reducing this threat or living with it, there is no escaping either the gravity or the totality of its challenge to our survival and to our security. A challenge that confronts us.
This is John F. Kennedy, or many people say was assassinated by the Mossad. I don't know about that. But they say the whole idea is he was in a feud with the Israeli prime minister at that time, Ben Gurion, about Israel's nuclear program and about AIPAC, which was called the American Zionist Movement, whatever it was called during the 60s, because he wanted them to register as a foreign entity like every other organization. Let's say I work for Egypt and I'm a lobbyist in Washington. I will have to register myself as a foreign entity lobbyist. I have to tell the United States government that I'm working for Egypt and I'm getting paid by Egypt, so that helps the United States knows what I'm doing as a citizen.
In unaccustomed ways in every sphere of human activity. This deadly challenge imposes upon our society two requirements of direct concern, both to the press and to the president. Two requirements that may seem almost contradictory in tone, but which must be reconciled and fulfilled if we are to meet this national peril. I refer first to the need for far greater public information, and second, to the need for far greater official secrecy. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and
I call this blood money. This is blood money because they're getting this money so they could get free weapons from the United States and kill Palestinians. Imagine if you're an investor and if AIPAC, which works for Israel, gives a politician about $100 million, $200 million a year, or every cycle, then what you're doing is that's the best investment you can make. Israel got about $40 billion in free money, free weapons, free ammunition last time. So that's a bang for your dollar. This is a bang for your dollar. You're getting a lot of investment back. It's called pay to play. It should be illegal, and it will be illegal in the future, but right now it is not, because they have a grip on them.
are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings.
AIPAC.
We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment.
Money.
That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low,
see how many people are getting money? Look at that.
Should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. But I do ask every publisher, every editor, and every newsman in the nation to re-examine his own standards.
Yep, and stop working. So what you saw there, I know the last guy was Donald Trump. He got $100 million or $200 million from Marian Adelson. Everybody's corrupt in Washington. Nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law in Washington. So what you saw there is that it's almost a 3-minute montage of people who get money from AIPAC in Washington. I was on for 3-4 minutes. This is disgusting, and this is not real. These people no longer serve you, the voter, or the American citizen, the farmer, the store owner, the doctor, the nurse, the mechanic, the factory. They don't serve you no more. You're just an afterthought. The only time they need you is because we still have some kind of democracy still before they're going to get rid of it sooner or later, that they need people to vote. And fix my lips there. You understand? That's the only reason you still count, or they still want you to count, or still actually pay attention to you every 2 years or every 6 years or every 4 years. It's, just to to let you know that we need your vote. Come out. And remember, do you hate people, the whites, the blacks, blah, blah, blah. They try to get you the tribe. It is time for you to come out and vote. We've been waiting for you. Now the next video, I hate this, man. I don't want to go to the bathroom. For me to go to the bathroom was like one of the craziest shit you could ever think of. I don't like to move, man. All right. Where are they? Where's the next video? Oh, there you go. That's what you are. Huh? You're hiding, huh? Saw you now. Okay, what is the next video? The next video is, let me see.
Fuck you, Jerry Seinfeld.
The next video, it gives you the idea there is dual citizenship and there is dual loyalty. Every time before, if you told somebody in the entertainment service or somebody who's of Jewish American heritage, if you told them, are you an Israeli citizen? They will accuse you of anti-Semitism or of anti-trope. What is it called? It's so strange that these people will do that all the time. You understand? Just to accuse you of such things. And this is Jerry Seinfeld. You know him in the 90s. He had this show on TV. He is the most unfunniest motherfucker, excuse my language, in stand-up comedy. I have never laughed at a joke. Even when he had his show on TV every night with millions and millions of people watching it, nobody gave a damn about him. The funny guy was Danza and what's that, Ellen, the other people. Now the allergies are starting to work on. Now let's see. Then we're gonna put it on. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? This is it. Okay. Here we go. This is Jerry Seinfeld, where he was met by protesters. I don't know where, but he was met by. This is how he acted. Look.
Fuck you, Jerry Seinfeld. Free Palestine.
Oh.
You support the genocide of babies in Gaza.
Look at that smile on his face. Look at that
Free
filth.
Palestine.
Filthy.
Fuck you, Jerry Seinfeld.
Look at
You
it.
support the genocide of Palestinian children. You rabid fucking dog. Free Palestine.
So that smile on his face. الله ينعل المرض هذا.
Sorry. New York Knicks is winning, guys.
I know. But children in Gaza.
All right. So he was met on the street of New York during, I don't know, after a stand-up or after probably a fundraiser for Israel, whatever it is. And he was America's apple pie. Everybody loved Jerry. Oh, Jerry's so funny. Jerry, it's about 5 Jews who lived in the East Side. They do nothing. It's a show about nothing. About young Jews living on the East Side. That's how they romance it. They humanize themselves. You understand? I hate this fucking body, man. I have a body, man, that is not working for me. It's not working for me. Fucking. Hold on. Let me shut this down. Let me shut down the air conditioner. All right. So am I back or not? So that was Jerry Seinfeld. He was at a show, and they show you how arrogant he is when he's told about the massacre and the genocide in Israel, which he supports. Matter of fact, I found out about 5 years ago that every year he takes his kid to the West Bank settlements on vacation. Who does that? Who takes his kid, a man who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and takes them to areas and neighborhoods that was stolen from other people who cannot go back to it? Who does that? Did I mess up? I did. I know I did. Here I am. All right. I'm not feeling good, man. Why has God done this to me? Oh, God, why have you forsaken me? Why have you forsaken me, my God? Why? Turn my body to a useless piece of shit. My chest is about to cave in. I don't know what kind of. All right, let's go with the videos. What is the next video? Sorry, I'm doing this on my own, so I'll have to stop it once I get it.
I've always known this. I mean, yeah, we know the charter. So let me ask you this question, and I can't get an answer, and maybe we're just not covering it in the press. Maybe you can help.
Okay, hold on. I'll tell you when this happened. Okay, remember last week when Donald Trump, the president, was in Qatar? All of a sudden, Qatar was the evil empire. It is the evil of all evil. Remember? Let me put it back. They accused Qatar of being a funder of terrorism. Oh, they fund Hamas. They fund Hamas. They fund Hamas. This is how they could pronounce Hamas like everybody else, but they love to do that shit just as a fucking what's that, fraternity. This is Morning Joe. Morning Joe, I don't know that day what happened to him. Maybe he didn't drink his coffee. Maybe he didn't get his orders right that morning. Maybe he didn't read his emails. The whole idea was the ambassador of Israel was there to try to vilify Qatar as a nation that is supporting terrorism. The reason they don't like Qatar is because they have Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is the only media that is on the ground inside the Gaza, who's every day showing the murder, the mayhem, the killing of Israel. Without them, it will be a void. It will be a black void because our media has not done anything. You understand? They have not done anything. So let's see what this is. Grand control. I'm going to go to the bathroom after this, all right? This is Morning Joe. Okay, here you go.
So you've always known this. I mean, yeah, we know the charter. So let me ask you this question, and I can't get an answer, and maybe we're just not covering it in the press. Maybe you can help me out. Why did Benjamin Netanyahu?
Hold on.
So you've always known this. I mean, yeah, we know the charter. So let me ask you this question. I can't get an answer, and maybe
you're never going to hear this again. Listen.
We're just not covering it in the press. Maybe you can help me out. Why did Benjamin Netanyahu send the head of Mossad to Doha 3 weeks before the worst attack on Jews since the Holocaust and told Qatar to continue funding Hamas?
I think, if anything, October 7 shattered that concept. And it's my understanding.
But you just said you always knew they were Nazis. I always knew they were Nazis. I would never give. We were always angry that Qatar funded Hezbollah and Hamas. I want to know.
To be honest, Qatar does not fund Hezbollah, has no connection to them. They did give money to Hamas at the behest of Israel. What Israel was trying to do is divide and conquer. Netanyahu, the war criminal, the Nazi of our era, his whole idea was, if I could conquer and divide. If I build up Hamas, they will prevent the Palestinian from happening because they're at war with the PA, the Palestinian Authority. So if I keep these two groups fighting each other and I steal land every day, they will never become a state. And then it bit him. But Joe is lying right there. Go ahead.
Why did Benjamin Netanyahu do that? Let me ask you this. Why did Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump know in 2018 the sources of Hamas's illicit funding, and they still did nothing? They wanted that money to get to Hamas. I'd like to know why, because we don't know in America.
Why?
Have there been any investigations in Israel at this point?
No. I'm sure we'll investigate it, and I totally agree with you. That Qatar is a wolf in sheep's clothes. And they're
It's not a wolf. Qatar is a fucking... I think Qatar is the best ally of the United States. Tucker Carlson said it. Did you know that they built an air base for the United States that costs about $8 to $10 billion? They paid for it. They have about 11,000 military personnel inside this base. It is the biggest air force. What is it called? You know, it's the biggest military base outside the United States. And you know what? They pay for the food, for the drinks, for the electricity. Every year, about $3 billion a year that Qatar spends on this base. How much money has Israel spent on the United States? They always give me. They always got their hands out every time they come to Washington. You understand? Give me. Here you go.
Qatar, no. I must correct you. Benjamin Netanyahu was asked by the leaders of Qatar, do you want us, Qatar, to give money to Hamas? This was in September. And Netanyahu's representative said, yes, of course. You're feeding that wolf, and you're telling that wolf to feed the Nazis in Gaza. So explain to me, because I really want to know, why was Benjamin...
Joe is doing the both side. The real Nazis are in Tel Aviv. They are the ones who are killing children, not defending Hamas or anything like that. You know, whatever they are. They've already been classified as a terrorist organization by my government, the United States. And then if they say they're terrorists, then I'll say they're terrorists. But the real Nazi is Benjamin Netanyahu. The way they talk about the Palestinians, we must destroy. Look what they're doing, man. What they do is unbelievable. It's unhuman. They will never recover from that. I'm not talking about the Palestinians. Jews will never recover what they did in Gaza. Israel will never recover from that.
Netanyahu and his government funding, they were allies with Qatar in the funding of Hamas.
You see that? But last week, remember? All the media was saying the same thing. Qatar is funding Hamas. Qatar is a terrorist country. It's not terrorist. Qatar, we have to thank them. They got us out of Afghanistan. If it wasn't for them having an office for Taliban, an office that was ordered by the United States for Taliban, they told Qatar, let them open an office so we could communicate with these crazy motherfuckers, right? And the negotiation, they oversaw the negotiation. They paid for the hotels, for the food of the Taliban, until they came to an agreement. We're out of Afghanistan. We're saving money. Americans' lives are saved. And let Afghanistan do whatever it wants with itself. If it wants to build its own stuff, build it. This is what I'm talking about. Now, what should I do? Because I have to go to the bathroom, right? I'm going to go to the bathroom right now. I got to put something on for you until I come back, because I can't stand like that. I'll die. Okay. I'm going to put this guy. Listen to what this guy was saying. Ready?
A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, you know, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, you know, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, you know, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, you know, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you. A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, you know, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you. Baruch Hashem. Thank you.
You heard it from him. He said that they're the master of the universe. I didn't say that. He said that. And this guy used to be a U.S. senator. He shows you. He used to be a senator, I think, or a congressman from Minnesota. We're Jews. We're the masters of the universe. Sounds like the He-Man. Remember when we grew up, we used to watch He-Man on TV? This is weird shit, man. It's up to the Americans to deal with their own country. I'm an American, but I have no power. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now let's go to the third. Let's see. I'm about to mess up again. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. Here we go. We did one. How many we did? 1, 2, 3. We already did. Now we're going to go to this. What's this?
Fellow graduates.
Okay. Hold on.
Trying to find.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. This is a graduate of what do you call it? What do you call it? The Korean? I don't know what the word is, man. This is a graduate of NYU University. He's he gives a speech. I don't know the Korean. I don't know how to pronounce that. You know, I'm as Americans have a problem. My tongue is still an Arabic tongue, and it just doesn't want to deal with the language and certain words. It just can't do it. It just sticks together like no crazy, you know. Okay, let me see what I got here. All right. He's a graduate. He you know, when you graduate now in these universities, before you do the speech, you have to give it to the university, to the educators who are responsible for the event, so they know what you're gonna say. That's the kind of world we live in right now. This is what Gaza did. Gaza exposed everybody. Gaza is the medicine that we've been waiting for. Though the Palestinians had to suffer, but it waked up a lot of people, and I hope I'm gonna wake up a lot of people from this channel. The white people, take your country back, motherfuckers. You gotta take your country back, because if you take it back, there will be no more wars in the Middle East. You understand? All right, we're gonna put this guy on. What's his name? I don't know his name. You know, I have it here someplace. Anyway, let's just pretend I'm not one of those real reporters, right? I'm just an idiot. All right, let's put him on. Let's go. Take the stage, my friend. Hold on.
There they are.
All right.
I've been freaking out a lot about this speech, honestly. And as I search my heart today in addressing you all,
By the way, this person is speaking his conscience. We were taught as young kids that we live in a free country. When I was in social studies, in the 90s, social studies class and everything, we were told about the freedoms that we have that no other people have in the world, that we enjoy, that people hated us for our freedom. Remember those wars we had? Because they hate us because we're free. Well, I need that freedom right now. Can I have it back, please? Okay, what you're doing right now is this is called censorship. It is scary. It is not. All right? Second, Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, here you go. This is the young kid, is it? Okay, at the university, yeah, at NYU University, I have to read it. 20 commencement. Logan Rozos. His name is Logan Rozos. God bless him. He got up to the stage. He was supposed not to say, and I'm going to tell you what they did to him after the speech. Shows you what's going on over here. You ready? Let's go, my friend. Okay, ready? Go. Oh, sorry. Go. Okay, here you go. Go ahead, Logan.
I've been freaking out a lot about this speech,
Okay.
honestly. And as I search my heart today in addressing you all, my moral and political commitments guide me to say that the only thing that is appropriate to say in this time and to a group this large is a recognition of the atrocities currently happening in Palestine.
Support. Maybe hard to undo this, Israel. This is the problem they're having. That's why they're doing all this censorship, all these deportation of students, all these taking money. And imagine even the president of the United States, Donald Trump, is trying to defund Harvard University, which I really don't care about Harvard University, but because they want them, the anti-Semitism task force, they're using anti-Semitism to invite fascism. In the end, it's going to bite them right in the ass. They think they're getting away with shit, but what they really do is they're going to invite what is their number one enemy historically. Jews got to be careful. Don't let them use anti-Semitism to introduce fascism or government overreach or government censorship. It's not going to work because eventually, once that snake is out of the bag, it doesn't care who bites next. You understand? So you do what you're doing right now, and you're going to pay for it dearly when you're going to deal with it later when it comes to for you.
I want to say that the genocide currently occurring is supported politically and militarily by the United States, is paid for by our tax dollars, and has been live streamed to our phones for the past 18 months. And that I do not wish to speak only to my own politics today, but to speak for all people of conscience, and all people who feel the moral injury of this atrocity.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I condemn this genocide and complicity in this genocide.
Is it loud? My ears are killing me.
Thank you to the class of 2025, and congratulations.
God bless you. God. Okay, what happened to this kid is, you see, he was nervous the way he gave his speech, the way he ran off the stage. There was some people jeering, but the majority of people are cheering. What they see and they cannot unsee no more. You cannot defend undefendable bullshit. You cannot defend the murder of children. How could you do that? And come crying anti-Semitism about some guy who spit on you in front of a McDonald's. You need to be on the right side of history. Don't use the campaign of anti-Semitism to cover the sun from genocidal behavior. It's out in the open. You cannot unseen what you see. They try to put the TikTok out of business. So NYU, what they did is they withheld his diploma. Let me see how much it costs. How much does it cost to get a 4-year degree in NYU?
Sure, I can help with that. What's the topic of the NYU valedictorian speech you're looking into?
No, not the speech. How much does it cost to get a diploma, a diploma for 4 years to graduate?
The cost of getting a diploma from NYU for 4 years can vary quite a bit depending on the program and any financial aid or scholarships you might get.
No, just give me. Go ahead. Just give me how much it costs. It doesn't matter.
Got it. For a 4-year undergraduate degree at NYU, the tuition and fees typically add up to around $60,000 per year. So over 4 years, you're looking at roughly $240,000. And that's before considering any financial aid or scholarships.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. If you need any more info, just let me know.
All right, take care. All right. So the person, okay, you could go cancel. That's it. Okay, how to get rid of it. I love ChatGPT. That's going to put Google out of business. You don't have to search Google no more. Just search ChatGPT. Everything is under your finger. Anything you want. So it cost this person $260,000. Some say it's $350,000 for a full diploma or graduation certificate from NYU. Now, this person paid all that money. What are you going to accomplish by withholding that diploma? Because he said the truth. Is that how you want the future of students? You want them to get on stage and lie? This Gaza is exposing everything. Gaza is exposing everything, my friends. Open your eyes. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. We don't know what the future is going to hold, but I could tell you one thing. Gaza has exposed all the lies of all the institutions, of all these movements, of all these we love people, or freedom of movement, or against the occupation of native people. It exposed all that shit is out in the open now. It's all about people with money and power. Some people count and some don't. You saw the press, those two kids who got killed the other 2 days ago in D.C. The whole press, every newspaper. I have about 7 to 8 subscriptions. I read. I'm a reader. I read a lot because I have a lot of time. Oh, well, you see, my allergy is going to start. I got to read this shit up. But what I saw is that every article, oh, he's about to get her ring. They were going to get married. They were going to they humanize their victims. But the Palestinian is 60 people were killed in an airstrike by Israel. That's it. There was not the human part of it. There were children. There were families sleeping in their bed. Yesterday, they bombed an apartment building. Like, you know, I lived in an apartment building. I lived in an apartment building that had a long time ago that had 86 apartments in it. Imagine everybody sleeping in these apartment buildings. It's families. It's not Hamas. It's families with children, grandparents, grandmothers, and you have to understand the makeup of the Gazans or the Palestinian or Middle Eastern people is they have generational families. What I mean by generational family is they live in the same house. The grandfather, the son, the grandkids, and the great grandkids until the person dies. They don't go nursing home. They all live together. Not even one word on MSNBC or the other garbage channel. Not even one word, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank this kid, Logan, in NYU for his bravery, for speaking truth to power and all the time. Now, let's get to the next segment. The next segment is about the hypocrisy of certain right-wing influencers or right-wing YouTubers. In my mind, that's Tim Pool, who met with Netanyahu to strategize how to cover the genocide in Gaza. Why would you meet with Netanyahu? Why? Our friend Tim Pool, who was from the Philippines, his father is American, but his mother, you know, he's Mongolian. You could see it when he looks like one of those karate teachers. But he has a big following in the conservative young white community. I don't know why they follow such an idiot, but okay, that's up to them. Anyway, what I want to show you is that these people sometimes, how they run escapes, and they are being paid to demonize Muslims and Islams for no reason. Muslims, we have the same values as Christians. We believe, you know, in family values, in marriage, in teaching our children to respect others. Like we are against alcoholism. We're against alcohol. We're against marriage out of what's that boyfriend-girlfriend situation that you have here in the West. We believe they have to be married. You have to have your children. They have to have a father, a mother, responsibility. A matter of fact, me as a Muslim who lives in the United States, I would love to have Christian values as part of our daily life in America, because that way my kids will be raised right. You understand? They don't have to go to school and start questioning their sexualities and things of that nature. Now, I don't know. Anyway, let's listen to these two idiots. Let's start with Tim Pool. Tim Pool has a guy named, I think it's a guy from a show, Leave Everything to Adam, whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is. You know, it's something like that. So I want to show you the pivot that he does, because he was defeated in every argument he had with this person. Okay, so we did this, we did that, we did this, we did this. So let's go Tim Pool, right? Let's go Tim Pool first.
It says upholding the law is marginally.
Okay, hold on. Let me shut this.
So my point is
Shut up. You don't have no point, you old pussy. Hey, my point is... Now, everybody know who Tim Pool. Tim Pool lives in a compound. He probably has like 100 guns inside a closet, because he's always talking about the Civil War is coming. The Civil War is coming. Now he thinks that he have all these guns in the closet. He probably doesn't know. I'm picturing this in my head. I'm not right. You know, it's just conjecture from me. That's all it is. I picture that. Remember the movie The Shining with Jack Nicholson, when he went to write a book and he went crazy? He was running around this hotel. He was seeing people running around. That's how Tim Pool is at night. Probably his workers who have to live in his compound locked with double locks, because one day he's going to go off the... Look at him. He has this beanie hat because he's embarrassed. He's bald headed. All he has to do is just take a trip to Turkey for $1,200. He could have a hair full. It grows, and he could be what he wants to be. So he was in a debate with a person. I think his name is Konda. I don't know. You guys probably know. I wrote it down, but I'm such an idiot. So sometimes I just don't want to. When I do something, I'm like, I don't want to do it no more. Okay, let's listen to what he has to say. I want to show you how he took a left turn.
Holding the law is marginally good. Sometimes the law is bad, and that's why it's not always good. In this regard,
so wait, you're saying simply the fact that Marco Rubio exercised his legal authority to do something was good. It's like he had the legal authority to do it. He could have enforced this law as he saw it on anybody. He could have enforced it on a comedian, right? Who's in town and goes on stage and says, "Hey, you know what? I disagree with this or that." Or, "Hey, I just did shows in
Canada. You're not from Canada.
No, but I just did shows in the UK and Amsterdam, and I made fun of UK politics, made fun of American politics.
You wouldn't dare make fun of Islam, though.
See, no.
Go to the UK and mock Islam.
See, now I don't know what Islam had to do with it. This is out of left field. Debate the man of what he's saying. Don't try to demonize the whole people, man. Anybody wants to call is 1-800. Anybody wants to call me. I will answer their call. Trust me. I will answer your call if you call. Okay, let's see. Out of nowhere, Islam comes right into the conversation. Had nothing to do with him. We had no conversation about Islam. They take every opportunity to please their masters in Tel Aviv and whatever they are. Where the hell is this guy? How did I shut him down? Is he still there? There he is. All right, let's see.
Islam, do it.
Well, I don't have any jokes about Islam.
Why not? They got Pakistani grooming games for raping little girls.
There you go,
Why
gang.
won't you go to the UK?
What?
Why won't you go to the UK and make jokes about Islam?
I don't think it's very funny. I don't have any jokes about it. I'm so confused. Dude.
Okay, let me help unconfuse you. Are there jokes that can be made about Islam? Yes or no?
Wait, I don't
Yes
want
or no?
I don't want to go to
Are you
this
scared?
particular rabbit hole.
No.
Why do we
Marginally
need...
good. Sometimes the law.
You're saying simply the fact that Marco Rubio
Hold on,
exercised
I
his
made a
authority to
mistake.
do it. He could have enforced this law as he saw it on anybody who's in what I disagree with this or that. Or, hey, I just did shows in
Canada.
I just did what?
You're not from Canada.
No, but I just did shows in the UK and Amsterdam, and I made fun of UK politics, made fun of American politics.
You wouldn't
made
dare
fun
make fun of
Amsterdam.
Islam, though.
Remember, he said, I'm making fun of politics, not religion. Why do we have to make fun of God and religion? Why do we have to destroy family values wherever they are? I would not make a joke about Christianity. I would never disrespect Jesus. Peace be upon him. Never in my whole life. I get upset when I see Christians not defending Jesus online and things of that nature. Good. He just said that it has nothing to do. He said, I've been making fun of American politics, European politics. He never said anything about religion.
Go to the UK and mock Islam. Do it.
Well, I don't have any jokes about Islam.
Why not? They got Pakistani grooming games for raping little girls. Why won't you go to the UK?
What?
Why won't you go to the?
That's not funny. Do you want to grooming kids? How do you make a joke about pedophilia? How do you make a joke about that? He's a comedian, you dumb Mongolian-looking face.
UK and make jokes about
racist.
Islam.
I don't think it's very funny. I don't have any jokes about it. I'm so confused. Dude.
Okay, let me help unconfuse you. Are there jokes that can be made about Islam? Yes or no?
No.
Wait, I don't
Yes
want
or no?
to. I don't want to go to
Are you
this
scared?
particular rabbit hole.
No. You're terrified.
Make fun of Arabs is okay. Make fun of me as a culture. Make fun of me as a camel herder. That's funny, but you don't make fun of other people's faith. Why are you people such idiots? You sold out Christianity to anybody to make fun of it. You should defend Jesus every chance you have.
You're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
What?
Are there jokes you can make about Islam?
No.
Muhammad banged a little girl, right?
Look at this piece of shit. Okay, well, hold on.
I'm really baffled.
Come on. You're terrified of the subject.
Look at this landish. Muhammad banged a little girl. What?
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
In the UK, you can be jailed for making jokes about Islam or even bring up the grooming gangs. There are people who go online and pointed out that a stabbing was carried out by a Muslim, and they got arrested for it. I'll bet you $1,000 you will not go to the UK and make a joke about any of that stuff, because you will not go to a foreign country and, in violation of their laws, speak out against what they've said not to speak out against.
Yeah, you can speak about politics, but you don't have no right to disrespect people's faith. You're going to attract people who are what you just said here. You're going to get fucking smacked in your face once you go any place else. This is the biggest idiot on YouTube. He's an idiot. He has no depth. He has no capacity on politics. His whole shtick is we're going to have a civil war. We're going to have a civil war. I'm waiting for the civil war. When that civil war happened, I'm going to take 2 dogs, dead dogs, and throw them on your water well. You have no water, and you'll come and give me all your guns for free. You're going to be stuck in that compound, you idiot. He says, I'm protected. I'm in a compound. I got all this food. I got all these beef jerkies from these survival foods, and I got all these guns in this closet that I don't know how to use. But ho, trust me, the shit hit the fan. Everybody's gonna
do it. I dare you.
Dare him what?
$10,000.
What?
Cash in your pocket. If you go to the UK and make a joke about Muhammad having a 12-year-old wife.
You see, I have some bad news for Timmy here. According to the Catholic Encyclopedia, the Virgin Mary carried Jesus, our greatest prophet, may peace and blessing be upon him, and his mother from now until the day of judgment. She was 13 or 14 years old or 12 years old. So by that, not by that kind of idea, you're saying that God is. You understand? This is when ignorance takes place, when people have no depth in politics or religion. There is no need, there is no reason to make jokes about other people's faith, to destroy the values of other people, or to ignite the fervor and the hatred of other people because you are disrespecting the thing they still have left. People are holding to their faith like holding a charcoal that is still hot, like it's full of fire, and they're holding on to it and they don't want to let it go. Because you have a loser who's 40 years old, not married, who skates all day like a little idiot, walks around with a beanie hat, who's a multi-million-dollar millionaire, but he has no depth, he has no value, he's not even an alpha. He's not even an alpha, he's a beta. He's not even a beta, he's below the beta. He's a Uzi. This is the kind of guy, when we were growing up, we slap around in the lunchroom. You know, everyone around will walk around with his beanie hat and slap him.
Man, this we got here faster than I thought we would in this conversation. Where you're shouting at me about something I don't understand. I don't really understand how you would think it's incumbent upon me.
Do you think anybody watching this right now thinks you are confused by the notion that in the UK you go to jail for mocking Islam?
I don't understand how we got onto you shouting at me about Islam specifically. I'd like to return to
okay, it's because you said people should be allowed to come to this country and speak out against it. And you said you're a comedian, and and you go to other countries, right? And you said you go to the UK. And I said, okay, if you go to the UK, speak out in violation of their laws and see what happens. And you said, I'm confused, I don't understand. What don't you understand? Will you go to Turkey? Will you go to Turkey and speak out against Islam?
Tim Pool, you filthy animal, you piece of shit, and I don't care if I don't get monetized. You ignorant fool. In order for a stand-up, it has to be funny. It is not the idea of comedy is not just to insult or try to ignite or try to incite a certain group. He said, I went to England and I went to Canada, I went to the United States and made fun of their politics. Politics is a fair game. Liberal against conservatives, idiots, this and that, groups. That's a fair game, but religion should not be a fair game. Religion should not be, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, any religion should not be a fair game to anybody. Leave people's faith alone. That's all they have left. And what are you going to do? Like, oh, he banged at 12 years old. But when you tell him that the Mary, peace be upon her, the mother of our great prophet and the Christian God, was around, according to some, she was like 12 or 14 years old when she became virgin with Mary. Is God a P guy, a pedo? Is that what Tim Pool is trying to say by that standard that he's putting on this guy? And this guy is a comedian. The joke has to be funny. If it's not funny, even a racist joke, if it's not funny, it's racist. But if it's funny, it's funny. Good.
I mean, if I have a joke to make sure, I don't have a joke about those particular topics.
You would.
I would.
You're saying if you had a joke about.
Oh yeah, sure. I would try to do the best I can. I always try to poke the bear as much as I can. It's part of the job of a comedian.
Nothing to poke the bear about as it pertains to one of the world's largest religions. I mean, come on.
Hey, come on.
I mean, I haven't written a joke about that recently.
All right.
So look, hey man, I'm a free speech guy.
That's it. Man, come on. I bet you $10,000. I have money. Come on. This is the influences. This is the guy. This is Netanyahu's hoe. He met Netanyahu. He got on his knees, gave him that old "I love you" Zionist job, and he came back a new man. Now the next idiot here is Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is an idiot. Charlie Kirk has nothing. He's always praising Israel. His whole job is to glorify Israel and its action. That's all he does. He has nothing to do with the Christian faith. Let's go. Is that it? Let me see. I gotta make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What, is this a 6 one?
Is macro Islam compatible
Here we
with
go.
Western values? Macro. Of course it's not. There are three major Prophet Muhammad. In most Muslim majority countries, you do not have the same robust freedom of religion protections. And finally, religion, and Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things are...
Hold on. I got to fix this. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3, right? I got to fix this. Make sure it's here, right? Okay. All right. Let's get going.
Is macro Islam compatible with Western values? Macro. Of course it's not. There are three major reasons why. Islam does not believe in freedom of speech. Islam does not believe in freedom of religion, and Islam does not believe in separation of mosque and state. Those three things are antithetical to the West.
Okay.
In a Muslim majority country,
that question we have to ask, sorry it took me a while, is what is freedom of speech? We have to go back to that. The idea that you are willing to tolerate that people putting the cross in urine in a museum or in a dong in a elephant shit they did in Brooklyn, New York, that's your problem. Our society does not tolerate the desecration of people's faith. You have free speech, but free speech doesn't mean you go out and say whatever you want. It has to be real free speech. What I mean by real free speech? You're going to say Omar is a hypocrite. No, I'm not. Free speech does not mean that you could go out and say whatever you want about other people's faith or about the faith of that country. America is a Christian country. I recognize that. America is a Christian country. But I believe that Islam and Christianity are compatible. Don't worry about the people who put the mosque or the evil Muslim. It's not. We have the same values you have. We want good things for our kids. We don't believe in the transgender movement. We don't believe the gay marriage. We don't believe in abortion. Are we Christians or not? Isn't that Christian values? We don't believe in pornography. We don't believe in things that are uncivilized behavior. We don't believe in that. So we are compatible by it. Our religions are compatible. The only problem is we're not compatible with you as a person, because you're a person who's been programmed, who serves the Zionist monster. We're
not, most Muslim majority countries, you cannot criticize the Prophet Muhammad. In most Muslim majority countries.
See, this is the problem. They think Charlie Kirk and his crew, they think that disrespecting your prophet is freedom of speech. It's not. That's not freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is when you want to say things that you believe in, like politically, that you don't feel freedom, like you have the right of movement, the right to make a living, the right to raise your kids. They think freedom of speech is to disrespect your faith. So because that in Western society, you tolerate the scumbags who disrespect Jesus Christ, may peace be upon him, that's not freedom of speech. That is the desecration and disrespect of the faith of the country that you live in. Now, we Christians hold Jesus in high regard. Not only you cannot disrespect Muhammad in a Muslim country, you cannot disrespect Jesus or his mother. How about that? See how I got you? In a Christian country, you cannot go out and start saying things about Jesus that Western movies or Western entertainment, they had gay Jesus, they had drunk Jesus, they had all these crazy stuff that they do. And that's not freedom of speech. Good. That's Charlie Kirk, who's another idiot, thinks freedom of speech is to mock other people's prophets and deities. I told you, in Islamic country, you cannot disrespect Jesus Christ or his mother. How about that? Do you love Jesus? Does Charlie Kirk love Jesus like he claims to be? That he's a conservative? Well, I got good news for you. Jesus is safe in Islamic and Arab country. He is safe from the tongues and the snakes who disrespect him.
Countries, you do not have the same robust freedom of religion protections. And finally, whereas we in the West are very careful to try to intermix religion and state, they are commanded to actually go into the state and try to change the state to be more Islamic around the core pillars of Islam. And the last thing I'll finally say is I cannot see a single Western country that has become more Islamic and has become a better place to live that is happier or freer.
By what metric? Just happiness, quality of life?
Everything from quality of life, from cultural cohesion.
All right, go to the UAE. The UAE is like a century ahead of the United States. Go to Qatar. Go to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, they have dance. This is what you want us. You want our countries or our faith to accept the idea of gay marriages. What do you want us to change? Capitalism is based on Islamic capitalism. The first capitalism was Islam. Have the same law. You have the right to make as much money you want. We are there against monopoly. The word tariff is Arabic. Is it? You understand? He doesn't know that because he's an idiot. These people just talk a good game on the YouTube channels and they have these followings, but they're dumb. To them, freedom of speech is to disrespect your own prophet. Islam is not kind. Did you know I have friends 10 or 15 in the 1990s who sent their kids to Catholic schools? Muslims who chose to send their kids to Catholic schools because they wanted to have a good education that is based on faith. The Catholic school knew they were Muslims, so they did not teach them about Christianity, but they taught them how to be human beings and respectful. Now you have a lot of Islamic school in the United States, so it's okay to send your kids. He doesn't know that. This people's idea of freedom is to be to marry another man. Oh, we're so free. We have men marrying men. We have gay men adopting kids. And we have people who are confused. In the morning, they are men. In the afternoon, they are women. At nighttime, they are binary. They don't know what they are. And this is our freedom.
From whether people want to live there prior to the native-born fertility rates.
Again, people watching this will say is your criticism of the religion itself or not Muslim people? Because there are British Muslims who have been born here.
But you don't have to caveat it all the time. I know you guys have to because you're British and all that. A culture ceases to exist when you don't have unified language. When you do not have, when you can.
He doesn't know that Islam introduced the Renaissance to Europe. He doesn't know that 2/3 of the stars in the universe have Islamic names. He doesn't know that he could count now because the Muslim gave him the 0. He doesn't know that the algorithm right now in his computer that he uses to make money is based on the mathematician called Ibn al-Gardrim. It's named after them. He doesn't know that geometry was invented by the Muslim. He doesn't know that algebra was invented by a Muslim mathematician. He doesn't know that the philosopher Ibn Khaldun, and I'm going to give you a name, the first Muslim, Dr. Ibn Sina, his books were studied by European doctors and based there. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know the rich history that made Europe what it is today was based on the Muslim when they were in Spain. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know why his ancestors in Europe were coloring themselves blue in their eyes and sleeping in caves, that they had libraries in Baghdad. They had universities in Morocco. The first university in the world was in Morocco where Christians went to study. I got one better than for you. He doesn't know that the first country to recognize the United States was Morocco, an Arab nation, a Muslim nation. When the United States declared, look it up. The first nation to recognize the independence of the United States when they declared the independence from England were Arabs and Muslims. He doesn't know that we have this relationship. He does not know that because he's an idiot, because he's there. He's just a talking head. He's been instructed by his Zionist handlers to try to demonize Muslim Islam as much as he can. He doesn't know that we could be allies against the decadence of our society. He doesn't know that we could be allies, that we could build and save our children from the streets, from the culture of death and destruction. He doesn't know that we could be allies against alcoholism. He doesn't know we could be allies against pornography. He doesn't know we could be allies against abortion. He doesn't know we could be allies against the gay marriage. I'm going to say, he doesn't know we could be allies in everything that Christians believe in and hold dear to themselves, that we can be allies. The problem we have is a liberal Christian. This is his problem. He's a liberal Christian, and what that means, he's not a Christian. Right.
Not talk to your neighbor. I'm not discounting that there are good individual Muslims. The question that we need to reckon with the West is Mohammedism compatible? What
the hell is Mohammedism? This fucking guy's an idiot. This is a word that used to be used by the English in the 1800s called Mohammedism. They used to call it Islam. It's more of an insult because we don't believe in Muhammad. Muhammad is just a prophet. We believe in God, the God of the prophets, the God of the Bible. He doesn't know that. He's an idiot. He's just like Tim Pool. One dummy after another.
With the teachings of Blackstone? Is it compatible with the legacy of Wilberforce? All right. And the great thinkers that have come from this country? And I will say, no, there's a reason why when you go to these Islamic countries that you're not going to see the equal protection of rights, that you do not believe in universal human equality, that you do not believe the same things that we believe in the.
Let's say what's happening in Gaza. What human quality has the West shown us? You filthy animal. Let's say what you guys do. Let's see your humanity, your Christian, your liberal-minded society, your Western values. 20,000 kids have been murdered and killed in Gaza while you're watching, and you're still giving the weapons free. As a matter of fact, you have Western leaders who go to Israel and sign on a 2,000-pound bomb that's going to be fought and kill children, women and children. Is that what your Western values are that we don't know about, that you want to teach us? I dare you to condemn the genocide that's happening in Gaza. I dare you. Is that the values that we don't have, that you have, that we need to have? Tell us, Charlie Kirk, what values do we need to have as Muslims? What do we lack? Do we lack empathy when a whole society is being genocidally destroyed every night? 100 people die a night. Teach us. Teach us about what's compatible. Tell us. Can you teach us, please?
West, and I think it's suicidal to import millions of them.
Yeah, and you know what, just on a passing point on that, most of the time, as far as I'm concerned, it's not even multicultural, because there was an example there was a school a few months ago during Easter which cancelled Easter celebrations out of respect for other faiths. So it's not as if the word multicultural and multi-diverse doesn't include Christianity.
No, and again, this is the red-green axis, and Britain is at the forefront of this. You have the Marxists that have infiltrated your government and the Islamists that are coming to your country.
This is the same talk of words we've been here. Marxist, Islamists. First of all, Marxism and Islamism does not meet. It's like oil and water. We're against Marxism because they are godless. They don't believe in God. So we have an issue with them.
And when they combine together, they both agree on one thing. They have huge disagreements on a lot. They hate the West, and they want to see it broken.
Okay, we're finished.
As a matter of fact, now we don't hate the West. As a matter of fact, you have millions of people trying to come here in America. Many Muslims have died in the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean on boats and rifts trying to get to make a living. I have been living 40 years in America. I believe and I love the United States, and I will die for it anytime, any day of the week. I will go to war for it anytime. My values are compatible with Christian values. You are not Christian, Charlie Kirk. You are a liberal Christian. Liberal Christians are not Christian. They just carry the badge, but they don't believe in Christianity. They don't believe in the teaching of Jesus, of taking the homeless, of helping the poor. These are the people that God, on the day of judgment, with Jesus, according to the Bible, in Matthew, I think it's 24, when he says, when they come to him, they say, Jesus, Jesus, we have built hospitals in your name. We have built orphanage. We have helped the sick. We have fed the poor. We have did this and that. And Jesus will say, get away from me. I never knew you. Because you didn't do it for the poor. You did it for yourself, so to look good. That's what it's all about. I'm going to have to end it. It was going to be a long show, but I have an issue with my... So let's end it on a note. The theme, I wanted to see one more thing. Hold on. I don't want to go yet. I wanted to show you this. This is very important. I hope I'm going to get it right because I can't see nothing here. See, I'm blind as a bat. Look at this. I'm just touching everything here. Okay, there you go. Nope. 1, 2. Let me do it. Give me a second. I want to just show you the shooter who shot those young kids that we condemn of what happened. I think it's a shame. That person does not represent. That person has mental issues. I have never seen somebody shoot people and be that calm and sit down until the cops come. But the shooters don't have mental issues. Only our shooters their shooters are crazy, but the shooters who tried to say they are carrying the water for Palestinians, they're not. He does not represent the Palestinian cause. We don't believe in violence. We will not believe in violence. That person going to carry. Let me see if I can find this. I'm going to try to find it. If I can't, I got to go because I got to go to the bathroom. Let me see. Oh, there it goes. Hold on. Let me move this idiot out of the way. Get out of the way. Okay, hold on. Okay. I want you to, this person, his name, I think, is Elise Rodriguez. He's probably Hispanic and probably Jewish because they found on his, hey, this is on YouTube. Okay, I don't even know, man. Anyway, this is the person who shot the two young men, the two kids, or the two adults who works for the Israeli embassy in Washington. I want you to see this scene. Remember the scene when Oswald was killed right in front of the cameras and things like that? It looks so surreal. This person just killed two people. People should be afraid. They should run everywhere. It looks like a movie scene. Watch. It's like, wait, hold on. Okay, ready? Let's go, because I got to go. Listen, everybody, getting out of the way. Get the cameras away, right? Now he just, now, go ahead.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Thank you. This was so produced. It's unbelievable. It was so produced. It was unbelievable. I want to do it, but I got to go to the bathroom, my friends. Anyway, it's been a good show. I got to go. Can't handle a full show. But thank God my body started to fit in and started to be okay. Love you all. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Until we meet next time, this is Omar from American Me Podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, bitch so bad I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a loop. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, bad I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a loop. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, I wanna shoot. Girl, you too bad for me not to press you, yeah. Young fly nigga, I don't follow all these rules, yeah. Bitch, I'm making tunes, I ain't missing, I won't lose. Let's go to an island where the water around is blue. I got two bad bitches in the coupe. 42 in the bottle, glasses on full too. Ain't no games, I ain't playing, I want you, yeah. Take a trip, let's go shopping, I got blues, yeah. We got options you could choose. Yeah, you want it, I can buy it, ain't no rules, yeah. I'm just saying, let me help you upgrade you, yeah. Fuck that nigga, he don't care about you, yeah. Girl, move on. He can't treat you like I do, my money too long. I got homies for your friends and we can group on. We are early, hit our shot like Curry. Bitch, I wanna shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want.